What is happening in the world? Today is August 2nd, 2021. Reagan Parrington was the name I was given, and these are your past week's headlines. First, we'll start with, the memes.
Veterans Affairs is going to have a mandate for its health care.
That's what I'm answering your question because you've known each other for so long. It has nothing to do with Iraq.
That's sort of what it's like being on the spectrum sometimes, just in general day-to-day life. Though, I want to start this off on a personal note that I've been discovering more of my post-doom self and really, truly realizing that this is the last decade to do everything I wanted to do. And on that note, the problem is too many freaking people. We are in at least 74% overshoot, consuming at least 5 Earths to maintain an American's way of life. And for context, the book, which was published in 1980 and has since then been updated by a Dutch sustainability researcher and advisor to the Club of Rome. This 39-year-old who undertook the update said the findings were bleak, and essentially what she's saying is that economic growth would end at the current decade of 2020 and come 10 years later in 2040. So we're right on time for the collapse of global industrial civilization. Okay, moving on to what's happening. First, in geopolitics, Israel and Gaza are at it again. In fact, Israel has committed war crimes in their conflict earlier this year. Although on last Sunday, Putin told the world that he could basically fuck anyone up before they could even flinch with an unpreventable strike. So, okay, I guess everyone do the wave! Also, US and NATO have promised to pay $4 billion a year until 2024 to finance Afghanistan's military and security forces, which are struggling to contain an advancing Taliban. And I don't even have fucking health insurance, okay? Atlanta has a mask mandate now, and soon many other cities will follow suit. COVID is exploding in Japan, expanding out of the prefecture of Tokyo into Osaka and neighboring territories. Oh, but protesters in Paris, they didn't like the idea of that virus pass so much. And also, Americans don't like to be homeless during a raging pandemic. The eviction moratorium expired Saturday at midnight. But I guess we can't take into account that there was a super spreader event in Provincetown, high amounts detected and everyone tested there. So Lollapalooza, the big music festival, is basically a big super spreader event. The US CDC internal report says Delta variant is contagious as chickenpox and more contagious than the common cold. Sounds like a great time to let the eviction moratorium expire. And we were also told that the Pfizer vaccine efficacy wanes after 6 months to around 84% effective. And the last bit of news is the Justice Department tells the IRS to hand Trump tax returns to Congress. Don't know if we finally get to see them.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Now to the weather. Parts of Philadelphia suburbs got slammed by tornadoes. And the Siberian wildfire is out of control in the northern Russian Arctic. They're actually literally running out of firefighters.
A massive forest fire raged for a second day in southern Turkey on Thursday.
But thanks to climate change, monarch butterflies are closer to extinction ever. The eastern population to Michigan every summer had dropped from 384 million in 1996 to 14 million in 2013. My neck of the woods got lit up by a heat wave too. More than 70 million people were under heat alerts, including St. Louis, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Nashville, New Orleans, Atlanta, where heat index values of 105 to 100 degrees were expected and reached. And in Celsius, that's 40.5 or 43.3. Freaking hot. Lucky for us, 14,000 scientists who have signed on an initiative declaring a worldwide climate emergency said in an article published in the Journal of Bioscience on Wednesday that governments had consistently failed to address the overexploitation of Earth, which they described as the root cause of the crisis. They warn that several tipping points are now imminent and have, if not, have already been passed. If we tip them, which we have, it's game over. Lights out. Oh, but thankfully Biden had a Zoom call with other state governors in Kamala about the wildfires.
One of the important aspects of the bipartisan infrastructure deal that is before the Senate now is that it includes billions of dollars.
Here's also something fun. Forever chemicals are leaking out of the Arctic. PFAs are known as forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment. Now, a study reveals that the Arctic ice melt, where they're trapped, is releasing these into the environment. Now on a local level, since none of you live here, I do, so this matters. In Arkansas, they passed Act 376, which requires an additional $100 registration fee for hybrid electric vehicles. So you can't even afford an electric vehicle, and they're going to charge you on top of that. Act 250 loosens the rules on when a person is allowed to use physical force in self-defense. So I guess it's the Wild West now, huh? You looking at me funny, boy. And last but not least, Act 611 requires public schools to teach about the Holocaust. Oh great, so they didn't know about 6 million Jews being slaughtered before? And on to entertainment, random, but honestly, fuck Scarlett Johansson and her children. She is suing Disney for $50 million because they released Black Widow in theaters and Disney Plus, and that would bring her bonus down because her contract says it's only for theater sales. Wow, really? A couple $1 million isn't good enough for you? Sorry, I wanted to bone you for so long. Now, you're canceled. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's been your update for August 2nd. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and go to my Patreon. Consider $1 or $2 a month. Helps keep this project going. And on a last personal note, I am moving to a new apartment. It shouldn't be too big of a deal setting up in my new spot, but just letting you know you're going to see a little bit of a scenery change. And other than that, I appreciate my viewers and all of us in experiencing this effed up experience called human existence on planet Earth. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. Stay cool.